How much for this copy of Preteen Miss?
Preteen Miss?
Preteen Miss. You know, the one with the feature on how to make ugly girls pretty.
Stu, what are you doing?
Making chocolate pudding.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Why on earth are you making chocolate pudding?
Because I've lost control of my life.
Hey, welcome back to the Classic Cartoon Clash. My name is Ryan Banks, and you're about to witness 2 legendary cartoons going head to head. So grab a drink, grab a snack, sit back and enjoy. Now let's get ready to clash. We're going head to head, get ready to clash. We're going head to head, get ready to clash. We're going head to head, get ready to clash. We're going head to head, get ready to clash.
Here we go.
For this, I want you to step into the time machine with me, so go ahead and close your eyes. No, really, close them. Do it. Now let's go all the way back to the year 1986. Now, open. We're now in the era of yo-yos, Top Gun, Looney Tunes, and Care Bears. Oh, also, a little unpopular video game thingy called the NES had just come out. Now, in this year, a man named Paul Rubens decided to attempt an educational, entertaining, and artistic show for kids, and this was the result. Pee-wee's Playhouse had a successful 4-year run. It featured a bunch of live skits, songs, puppets, and animated shorts. But one short in particular stood out from the rest. A young man named Craig Bartlett created claymation cutaways starring a girl named Penny. Shortly after, he went on to create some characters like this and this. But one of his creations would change the world forever. Meet Arnold. Believing in his idea, he moved away from the Pee-wee cutaways and developed 3 cartoon shorts: Arnold Escapes from Church, The Arnold Waltz, and Arnold Rides His Chair.
Arnold is going to use his imagination, and he's beginning to imagine now.
Craig and a group of animators worked around the clock to transform Arnold from clay animation to cell animation. Once they found the perfect design, it was time to add life to the character. Bartlett stated, and I quote, "We did a lot of talking about who Arnold is. We came up with a reluctant hero who keeps finding himself responsible for solving something, making the right choices, and doing the right thing." He then set up shop in his living room and went on to create the pilot episode simply titled Arnold in 1994. This rare episode dropped in the summer of 1995, where it was exclusively shown in theaters following the movie Harriet the Spy.
Night, Mommy.
Being positively received from his peers and Nickelodeon executives, Bartlett went on to develop the rest of the roster. He molded personalities for the characters based on people from his childhood. Hey Arnold. The animated series debuted in 1996 and ran for 5 successful seasons. Clash fact. Contrary to popular belief, Hey Arnold does not take place in New York. Arnold actually lives at the Sunset Arms boarding house in the fictional American city of Hillwood, which was inspired by combining parts of Portland, Seattle, and of course, Brooklyn. Arnold is enrolled at PS 118. It is here we are made familiar with many other characters, including classmates and memorable faculty members.
When I say hello, class, everyone respond in your own individual way. Hello, class!
Due to some behind-the-scenes drama, Bartlett and Nickelodeon decided to split ways. The show wrapped up production in 2001, although the last season's episodes were released over the course of 4 years. 24 episodes, 4 long years. On average, that's 6 episodes a year, and they were just thrown out at random time slots as if this wasn't one of the greatest shows to land on a network. Like, what? The disrespect was through the fucking roof. Pardon me. The disrespect was through the roof. The series aired its final episode, completely unannounced, on June 8, 2004, which left a bitter what-if feeling amongst all us viewers. What if there were no issues? What if differences were put aside and we got another season, or even multiple? Before wrapping up, a final farewell in the form of a feature-length film was released. This movie was simply titled Hey Arnold the Movie, and it was released in 2002. Blue team, as I introduce your opponent, please get ready for the weigh-in. Take a look at this trio right here. You definitely know them, but at the same time, you don't know them. Follow me. Once upon a time, these three were animating The Simpsons for Matt Groening. They would continue to do so until being replaced by another company called Film Roman. It was then they decided to create their own series. They made a 6.5-minute pilot episode titled Tommy Pickles and the Great White Thing.
Hey, Stu, I found your boy about to go sage belly in the water closet.
Oh, thanks, Pop.
Just set Tommy down with Phil and Lil.
Rugrats, created by the then husband and wife, Gabor Supo and Arlene Klasky. Apologies if I'm butchering any one of your names. They had formed an animation company simply named Klasky Supo. This company, along with a dude named Paul Germain, went on to create the American-made TV series for Nickelodeon. The show stars Tommy, Chucky, Phil, Lil, Susie, and this little snobby shithead son of a bitch named Angelica. What? Pfft, don't boo me until you know the dark truth about her. I promise. You'll understand later. The series debuted on August 11, 1991. It was one of the first 3 shows to make it on the new programming block called Nicktoons, with the other 2 shows being Doug and The Ren and Stimpy Show. I can almost guarantee we'll see both of them in a future cartoon clash. They completed the first 65 episodes, which was 3 full seasons, and then ended production in 1994. But Nickelodeon wasn't quite ready to give up on the babies. They aired those 65 episodes over and over in multiple time slots of the day. In 1996, Rugrats episodes had aired 655 times over the course of the calendar year. This repetition, along with the unique writing style, is what got the ball rolling. You see, Rugrats did this really cool thing, which was also smart for business. They would fill an episode with content for kids, but on top, they'd sprinkle in jokes that only an adult would pick up on. Like the time the grandpa went to the rental store and got a bunch of videos.
Riptide Redux, and my personal favorite, Lonely Space Vixen. That's for after you go to bed.
It's a pornography store. I was buying pornography.
Yup. Grandpa Lou apparently watches fetish porn. I cannot make this shit up. And when you go back and rewatch the series, I guarantee you'll catch a lot more of these moments. Being aired 6,000 times a day along with jokes for both kids and adults, Rugrats had now built up a worthy fan base. It was then Nickelodeon demanded more. Klasky Supo started creating new episodes and began releasing season 4 in 1997. The show focuses on the life and times of Tommy Pickles and all his friends. But the catch is, everything is viewed through the eyes of a baby. Due to this, often things are cleverly misheard and or misinterpreted. For example,
First stop of the day, the ATM machine.
Did you hear that? The M&M machine. M&M's.
and that right there is the genius of Rugrats. This show is a first-person baby simulator. They let you experience adventures as if you were Tommy Pickles or one of the other babies. The infants communicate through baby talk, so what sounds like cooing, babbling, and complete utter nonsense to the adults is actually perfectly understood amongst all babies. Being a bit older, Susie and son of a bitch Angelica are the only two who can talk to the adults. Aside from the main characters, the parents also play a big part in this series. They're irresponsible, easily distracted, and clueless of the wild adventures their kids take part in.
It's some kids on the ice. What's a dinosaur to do? It's some kids on the ice. Quick! Somebody call their mom!
After being 9 seasons deep, the final episode aired on August 1st, 2004. Rugrats helped Nickelodeon reach that top spot and remained the network's top-rated show from 1995 to 2001. It was Nickelodeon's longest-running cartoon until this household item with brown shorts completely took over the world. And now, it is time. To your corners. Now the following is scheduled to be a 7-round bout based off the following criteria. Theme song, characters, originality and longevity, first impression, best episode, overall impact, and replay value. Let's have a good, clean fight. Time to clash. Theme song.
Here we go.
Hey Arnold. The jazzy, bebop-inspired instrumental was composed by Jim Lang. He had no restraints. Bartlett and Nickelodeon put all their trust in him and allowed him to create whatever his heart desired.
Arnold!
He also provided all the background music throughout the series.
Arnold! Move it, football head! Hey, Arnold!
Moving right along, next up is... Rugrats. The theme song was written by Mark Mothersbaugh. Gabor heard an album that Mark made called Music for Insomniacs, and a track named Bonzyko stood out to him. Originally, Mr. Supo wanted to use this song for the show. Instead, Mark invited him over and they quickly came up with the Rugrats theme. Judges? Clash. The judges agreed that both theme songs are iconic, but nothing, and I mean nothing, is more epic than the starting drum roll for Rugrats. Round 1 to Team Red. Characters. Arnold. He's an old soul trapped in a 9-year-old's body. He always tries to be helpful, tries to see the best in people, and is extremely responsible for his age. His mom and dad, Stella and Miles, left to go to San Lorenzo when he was about 2 years old and never returned.
Bye, Mommy. Bye, Daddy.
Gerald. The product of when Marge Simpson cheated on Homer and let Carl Carlson clap those yellow cheeks.
Oh my God.
A 9-year-old black kid and Arnold's best friend. He's street smart and is the most athletic kid in the class. Helga Pataki. A 9-year-old girl who is secretly obsessed with Arnold. She doesn't want to blow her cover, so in public she bullies him and even created the nickname Football Head. She's a complicated soul, and her lashing out toward the world is most likely a result of her at-home life. She's often neglected by her alcoholic mother and workaholic father. Phoebe, the top scholar in Arnold's class. She's half white, half Asian, and she's Helga's best friend. Harold, a Jewish kid who's a friend and classmate of Arnold. He's portrayed as a school bully during the early seasons, but later in the series, he shifts positions and becomes an ally. Eugene, the socially awkward, nerdy kid who is probably the unluckiest person on the planet.
Here, let me help you with that. Yeah! Oh no, I'm sorry. Here, let me take that. Help!
Lila, the pretty young girl who moved into the town of Hillwood. On the exterior, you would assume she lives a perfect life, but in reality, she lives in poverty with her struggling father. Honorable mention to the following characters that add so much depth to the series. Stinky, Sid, Rhonda, Arnold's young-at-heart grandparents, Phil and Gertrude, the tenants in the boarding house, the Kakashkas, Ernie, and Mr. Wynn. The Pataki family consisting of Big Bob, Miriam, and Olga, Mr. and Mrs. Johansson, Jamio, and Timberly, and all of the other families. Since there's a lot of intertwining, I'm gonna be referring to this family tree a lot. So let's start with Tommy. This 1-year-old is the main character of the series, and he is the courageous leader of the group. He believes in justice and always stands up for what is right. Meet his family. Stu, Dee Dee, and Dill Pickles. Stu is an inventor. He creates toys and contraptions out of his basement workshop. Dee Dee is a part-time teacher, and she loves reading books from the famous child psychiatrist, Dr. Lipschitz. And Dill joined the gang in the first Rugrats movie. He's a newborn, he's really kind of just there, and he doesn't say much. Chucky. This 2-year-old is Tommy's best friend. He's portrayed as being shy and timid. He is terrified of practically everything and always tries to weasel his way out of the adventures. His dad is Chaz, and his mom is, well, was Melinda. Rest in peace. Phil and Lil. The fraternal twins that live next door to Tommy. They're filthy babies who love eating bugs, rolling in dirt, and playing with worms. Probably the least memorable character in the series is their father, Howie, but their mom, Betty, she's cool in my books. Susie, daughter of Randy and Lucy Carmichael, a little black girl who lives down the street from Tommy. Her and her family moved into the neighborhood in season 2. Angelica, the only child of Drew and Charlotte Pickles. She is pretty much the bad guy of the series. She regularly threatens the babies, bullies them, and lies to them for her own sick enjoyment. Like the time Chucky accidentally swallowed a watermelon seed and Angelica said he would die because the seed would grow and grow and grow until Chucky gruesomely exploded. Yeah, she's an asshole. Clash fact. Maybe she's bratty because she's an only child. Perhaps it's because her parents are workaholics. Regardless, Paul Germain felt that the series needed a bully. It's moments like this that made Arlene Klasky absolutely hate Angelica's guts.
Give me my ball! Well, if you can't be nicer than that, I guess you'll never see your dumb old ball again.
I think she's a bully. I never liked Angelica, Klasky said in a 1998 article from The New Yorker. So yes, earlier I called Angelica a snobby shithead son of a bitch, and you all were so mean to me. I ask, does the creator herself hating Angelica help my case? Well, I'm not done. Klasky and Supo got divorced in 1995. They've told the public it has nothing to do with the show, but those who know. Disagreements on Angelica and other aspects of the show led to this divorce. So you know what I say? Fuck Angelica. Honorable mentions to Grandpa Lou, Kira and Kimi, Grandma Minka, Grandpa Boris, the Care Bear knockoffs, aka the Dummy Bears, Spike the dog, and who could forget Reptile. Judges, clash. The judges agree that Hey Arnold has a deep roster. Unfortunately, it is simply too much for Rugrats to stand up to. Round 2 goes to Blue. Originality and longevity. 5 seasons, amounting to an impressive 100 episodes, making it a member of the exclusive Clash Triple Digit Club. Hey Arnold adventures include: Helga gets high off laughing gas. Under the influence, she leaves a voicemail for Arnold confessing her love. She now has to break in to get the tape before he does. Arnold's weird cousin Arnie comes to visit. Arnold's crush Lila ends up falling in love with the weirdo. A bad-tempered kid lets his fear of the world get the best of him. He remains confined to his porch as Arnold helps him conquer his fears.
I'm spreading the word.
Hey! Stoop kids afraid to leave his stoop! Stoop kids afraid to leave his stoop! Stoop, stoop, stoop.
Arnold gets framed for mooning the school principal, when in fact he had nothing to do with it. Arnold develops the world's deadliest baseball swing. After hurting several people, he vows to never play the sport again. Arnold meets a man who can't stand humans. He only loves pigeons. The underlying message is that all people should be treated for the person they are on the inside. An unexpectedly emotional episode.
It's time for me to leave here. Some people are meant to be with people, and others, like me, are just different.
9 seasons, 172 episodes, 2 new entrants to the Clash Triple Digit Club in 1 episode. Rugrats' adventures include the babies try to find perfect Mother's Day gifts as we hear the touching story of Chucky's deceased mom. Chucky accidentally swallows a watermelon seed, so the babies enter his body to retrieve it before the fruit grows. The babies admire Spike because he doesn't have to wear clothes, which result in them going through a nudist phase.
You have a new tooth? No. Did you get a haircut? Nope. I know. You're buck naked.
Angelica tricks the babies into believing the sky is falling, which will eventually lead to the end of the world. Dee Dee enrolls Tommy into a maximum security daycare. Tommy and some other babies plan a jailbreak. Grandpa Boris tells the story of the Jewish holiday Passover, and the babies reenact it.
Moses had to do something. He was running out of time.
I hope this works.
Judges.
Clash.
The judges agree. Both shows have much diversity, but the slight edge goes to Rugrats. It ran longer and the adventures were a bit more entertaining. Round 3 to the red team. First impression. Season 1, Episode 1, Downtown as Fruits. So Arnold and Gerald are traveling to PS 118 dressed up as a banana and a strawberry. You may ask, why the f*** are they dressed like the produce aisle at the grocery store? Well, his class is putting on a play about the food groups. Feeling ashamed and embarrassed, Gerald pitches this idea.
Let's just say we forgot to pull that cord, and we didn't get off at this stop, or the next stop, or the next.
Arnold feels guilty that they'll ruin the play, but after some thought, to hell with the play. Meanwhile at school, Helga realizes Arnold and Gerald didn't show up. The boys accidentally ride the bus to the very last stop, and now they're stranded at a bus yard in the middle of downtown. Out of nowhere, a speeding car pulls up and throws the Fruits a bag of money.
Wow, people downtown sure are friendly. Let's go.
The boys take the money and treat themselves to a shopping spree. Back at school, Helga's play is a disaster due to her having to stretch it out in order to buy time in hopes Arnold and Gerald would show up. As the boys are betting stacks and making it rain at a pool hall, 2 men dressed as Fruits spot Arnold and Gerald and they start chasing them. Turns out, the money was theirs and they want their shit back. Being terrified, the boys make a dash. On the way back to school, they dish the rest of the cash. I didn't mean to rhyme, I'm just naturally talented, I guess.
Wow, people downtown sure are friendly.
Helga goes center stage to announce that the highly anticipated fruit scene won't be happening. But right on time, Arnold and Gerald show up and commence their act. Season 1, Episode 1, Tommy's first birthday. We start off with Stu and Dee Dee wishing Tommy happy birthday. They dress him up in a Mario-inspired birthday outfit, then they head downstairs for breakfast. Dee Dee's food must have tasted like shit because Tommy tries to eat from the dog dish instead. Grandpa Lou stops him because kids have shown up for the party.
Chucky filth
I got just one word to say. What? Dog food. Dog food. Dog food.
Tommy explains that if they eat dog food, maybe, just maybe, they'll turn into dogs. Then they'll be able to do stuff like sleep in the flowers and lick people and wear a cool collar with their names on it. They draw up a plan, and when Dee Dee goes to the door, Tommy decides to go for it.
Dog food, dog food.
But he's interrupted because it's time to open gifts. Tommy gets a fire truck from his uncle, then he opens a gift from his dad.
What is that thing?
The parents quickly get distracted, so guess what?
Dog food, dog food, dog food, dog food.
Failed again. A delivery man drops off a puppet stand. Stu and Drew reenact the story of Little Red Riding Hood. Seconds later, they start arguing over who has to sacrifice their masculinity and be the girl. Grandpa Lou steps in to resolve the issue. With the adults distracted, again, the babies head to the kitchen and notice something on the top of the cupboard.
Dog food, dog food.
They're too small to reach it, so they use Stu's present to help. They fuck up the whole place, knocking things over, spilling ice and water everywhere, and they even ruin Tommy's birthday cake. Shortly after, the grandpa pours out some food for Spike. It's finally time.
Dog food, dog food.
The babies eat it, and yeah, not what they expect. It tasted like trash, and they didn't turn into dogs. It was all a lie, but all of a sudden, kids start acting like dogs. The parents then notice the kids acting crazy and are overwhelmed by the weird cuteness. Grandpa Lou takes a picture and adds it to the Pickles family album. Judges, clash. The judges agree that Rugrats had a great opening episode. Speaking pure entertainment, Hey Arnold had the more enjoyable watch. Round 4 to the blue team. Best episode. Season 1, episode 20. Pardon me as I set the mood. You may be asking, why the snow? Well, if you know, you know. If you haven't already seen this, I strongly suggest you go watch this episode in its entirety. Spoilers start in 4, 3, 2, Arnold's Christmas. It's Christmas break and all the kids are out enjoying. Phoebe and Helga are discussing their favorite parts of the holidays. Phoebe loves the decorations, while Helga loves presents. Only presents. Not a damn thing else, just those sweet, sweet presents. Specifically this sexy pair of official Nancy Spumoni signature snow boots that every young girl on the block wants. Shortly after, Helga is spying on Arnold, trying to figure out what she's gonna surprise him with for Christmas. We then cut to the boarding house where the tenants are picking names for their annual Secret Santa. Arnold is faced with the task of finding a gift for a distraught Mr. Wynn. Sensing something is off, Arnold asks Mr. Wynn why he's so sad around Christmas. And this is when shit gets dark. Mr. Wynn goes on to explain he lived in a small village in Vietnam with his infant daughter named Mai. There was a war going on in the north that was inching closer and closer to his village. Not a cartoon war, a very real Vietnamese war that was active in the 1970s. Complete and utter chaos as there were swarms of people trying to board a helicopter. A US soldier held up one finger, indicating the chopper had room for one more passenger. Mr. Wynn then made the toughest decision in his life. He put his infant daughter on the helicopter in hopes of her living a better life in America. The soldier yelled out the name of the city the refugees would be taken to and then flew off. Almost 20 years later, Mr. Wynn made it to America, but he has yet to see his daughter, nor does he know if she still lives here. Arnold decides he wants to reunite the two just in time for Christmas. The next day, Christmas Eve, Helga continues her search for the perfect gift.
Perfect flashy present to impress Arnold at last!
That's your easy king skateboard, Helga. I should know on account of Arnold got one just like.
Arnold and Gerald track down a grumpy man named Mr. Bailey. He's a government worker. Grumpy man hates Christmas shopping, so he agrees to help locate the missing girl if the boys do his shopping for him. Arnold and Gerald manage to find everything on the list except the very scarce Nancy Spumoni snow boots from Mr. Bailey's daughter. Mr. Bailey says too damn bad. No boots, no deal, and kicks them out onto the street. Helga then eavesdrops on Arnold crying about the boots. She goes home, and to her surprise, her mom got her a pair of Nancy Spumoni's signature snow boots. She loves Arnold so much, she decides to give her boots to Mr. Bailey. The two work late into the night in an attempt to reunite Mr. Wynn with his daughter. On Christmas Day, the tenants are opening their Secret Santa gifts when, all of a sudden, Helga did it. She and Mr. Bailey were able to locate Maya and arrange for her to show up Christmas morning. Mr. Wynn is reunited with his daughter, and the whole living room is overwhelmed with emotions.
Merry Christmas, Arnold.
Season 3, Episode 11, The Mysterious Mr. Friend. Stu invents a brand new children's toy, Mr. Friend. Excited, he decides to show his wife, who is less than impressed. Stu takes Mr. Friend upstairs to show Tommy. The babies thought they heard Stu say that the toy's name is Mr. Fiend. The doll goes crazy and scares the kids. Magically, the clown collapses.
Is he broken? Yeah, I think so.
Mr. Friend falls again, which ejects the batteries from the compartment. Later that night, Stu puts the fixed doll in the crib with Tommy. Phil and Lil visit the next day, and Tommy tells them about the evil Mr. Fiend. Tommy decides to kill Mr. Friend, so they throw him down the laundry chute. That'll do it. Stu is in his workshop mass-producing more Mr. Friend dolls, thinking that it's gonna be the next Tickle Me Elmo. As Dee Dee is putting the clothes in the washer, after the assassination attempt, the babies go outside to play. Dee Dee places the clown outside for them. The babies gang up and bury it behind the bushes. Dogs do what dogs do, so Spike dug up the toy, and now they're on the run again.
Tommy, Chucky, I think Mr. Fiend is gonna be with us for a very, very long time.
The babies push the toy into the middle of the road, where he more than likely was killed. Meanwhile, back in the workshop, everything is normal, until dozens of baby-killing dolls are malfunctioning and begin to escape. The babies go to war, smashing, kicking, and vacuuming all the toys until the backyard is covered in debris. Stu comes out and loses his shit. The babies can now relax. That is, until son of a bitch Angelica shows up with the same Mr. Fiend doll that they pushed into the middle of the road. Judges, clash. The judges agree that this one isn't even close. The Christmas special is one of the greatest episodes in cartoon history. Round 5 to Hey Arnold. One more point for the win. Overall impact. With Hey Arnold reaching unthinkable levels of success, fans across the world kept the show alive in their hearts for years after production ceased. Reruns aired in many countries up until 2011. Spin-off media includes DVDs, music soundtracks, can be streamed on Pluto TV, comics, 2 movies, and in a 2019 interview, Craig Bartlett said that there's talks of a Hey Arnold reboot, depending on the success of the Rugrats reboot. Whether it's the clever writing, lovable characters, or the wild storylines, the world absolutely fell in love with Rugrats. Reruns could be found as late as 2018. Spin-off media includes VHS, DVDs, available on various streaming platforms, a terrible spin-off called Preschool Days, a good spin-off called All Grown Up, direct-to-video specials, not 1, not 2, but 3 feature-length films grossing roughly $300 million, 4 Emmy Awards, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, books, comics, a total of 19 video games, a live-action play, and toys at fast food restaurants. In a 1995 interview, Steven Spielberg even went on to say, "It's the Peanuts of our time." The original trio of Klasky, Supo, and Jermaine even put their differences aside and confirmed the Rugrats reboot, which premiered in the summer of 2021. Clothing, breakfast cereal, even toothpaste. Rugrats has done it all. Judges? Clash. The judges agree. Both shows hit astronomical levels of success. But Rugrats' power level was always a bit higher. Tying things up again. Round 6 to the red team. Game point. Replay value. With Hey Arnold lasting an impressive 5 seasons, the series isn't meant to be slept on. A lot of people, for some odd reason, forget to include this in their top 10 lists. Perhaps that could be due to the fact it was often overshadowed by other shows like Rugrats and a few others. Not to take anything away from Rugrats, because it deserves all the praise for its historic run. We fell in love with Arnold simply because he was a regular guy. He was relatable. Mix that in with an authentic 4th grader environment, throw in some smooth jazz music to set the tone, and we've got something special. And we fell in love with Rugrats for its creativity. Wild adventures fueled by the imagination of infants. Everything was possible and nothing was off limits. Now, do you prefer the more laid-back, funny, realistic show with moral lessons? I mean, Hey Arnold had diverse families, relatable sibling rivalries, and children dealing with at-home problems like Helga's alcoholic mother. Or do you prefer senseless fun, wild adventures, and a genius writing style that would accommodate both kids and adults? Not to imply that Rugrats shied away from the more serious moments. After all, they did go to a few dark places, like Chucky learning about his deceased mother. Hey Arnold is up there with the greats. It's just a shame it wrapped up with a mediocre final season and all that behind-the-scenes drama, which leaves us only to imagine what heights could have been reached. Rugrats, like Hey Arnold, was an incredible success for the network, but it was able to connect with more people. Going back and rewatching the series is a breath of fresh air. Perhaps you'll experience it from an adult perspective now. So with that being said, I'm gonna edge this to one of the greatest cartoons of all time. But do yourselves a favor and check out both of these amazing shows. The winner of today's 7-round bout is Rugrats. So, what do you guys think? Agree or disagree? Comment down below and let me know which show you liked more. Let's talk about it. While you're at it, do me a huge favor. That thumbs up button down there, show it some love and subscribe. Also hit that bell to be notified the second these bangers drop. As always, it's my duty to remind you guys, the world is yours. Do what you love. Do what you love, don't stop, and forget the haters. Once again, my name is Ryan Banks. Thanks for watching. Gimme my music. I move in the nighttime. Shit, everything I do in the nighttime. Make 1 turn 2 in the nighttime. Zoom from that bright light. Move by my right side. Crew in the spot and it's like 2 o'clock. Wrist never been in cuffs, evident.